Who was Sayla? Generation 13. Let's use the periodic table of history and geography to increase our understanding. Remember, the dates concerning Genesis are as is in the periodic table of history. They're not calibrated to any other methodology. We can see our y-axis here has 6,000 years of history. We see our x-axis here. I'm over in the United States, but you may be in China or India or Greece or Germany or even Ireland. So we're going to teleport over to the Middle East, and then we're going to go back in time and find out who Sayla is. So let's zoom up in here. We can see on the left side of the periodic table of history we have 3000 BC to 2000 BC. And when we zoom up here, we can see Sayla. So where do we get him from? Where does he even appear? Well, Genesis 10:24 states, "And Arphaxad begat Sayla." The name of Sayla is listed in Genesis 10 and 11. The name is changed to Shelah in 1 Chronicles. It's also changed again to S-A-L-A in Luke 3. Josephus also has the S-A-L-A spelling. In Josephus it says Sayla was the son of Arphaxad. The genealogy in Luke connects Sayla to Jesus. We can zoom out and see Arphaxad, his father, and Shem up here, his grandfather. We can see the tremendous lifespan starting and then ending here. So Arphaxad married Milcah, the daughter of Madai. Remember, Madai is the father of the Medes, and he's of Japheth. So we see a connection forming early between the Shemites and the Japhethites. The line of Sayla would eventually become much of the Middle East and East. For example, Israel and the Arabs, India and China. Now, Arphaxad has a granddaughter named Muach. Sayla is married to Muach. Now, this sounds strange to us, but remember, genetic degradation hadn't set in, and the law against close family marriage wasn't given to Moses for another 1,000 years. The law was given to Moses in this era. And we can check out the decreasing lifespans after the flood. We see Noah, Shem, Arphaxad, and now we're at Sayla. So Sayla is still getting a lifespan of over 400 years. So the life bars of the Medes and the Indians and the Chinese and the Koreans and the Southeast Asians, they can all be bent over into the life bar of Shelah. And here we see a little bit of geography. Noah is up here where Mount Ararat is. And I've got a Noah joke for you. If anyone needs an ark, I know a guy who can build one. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I can hear you laughing through the computer. If you want any more information about the wives, they are listed in the Book of Jubilees. So if you're so inclined, that's the place to study. We remember that Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth are over here. What we can do is start a pathway over here and see where they might have gone. And you can see how easy it is to end up in this area where Arphaxad ends up and Sayla ends up. If we were to follow this same pathway, this is what it would look like. The governorship of Sayla al-Din, Iraq, is very close to Arphaxad, though no one has placed his residence exactly. Sayla al-Din is rendered Saladin, a Muslim leader that defeated the Crusaders. And the name may be coincidental, but it just happens that this governorship of Sayla al-Din is the same area where Arphaxad and Sayla would have stopped. So one explanation of not knowing the exact location of Sayla is that he may have worked his father's farm. In that case, he still would be in this area. and this whole section is where Arphaxad is known to be. We can see on the periodic table of history how the life of Sayla, if we zoom up here, and I'll highlight them, the life of Sayla is overshadowed by Arphaxad, and the land is known by Arphaxad. And we look at how long they lived. Sayla only lived a little bit past his father, Arphaxad. So my thinking on this topic is when we take geography and history, put it together, the reason why we don't exactly know where Sayla is because he really just took over this area that's known as Arphaxad. We can see that Sayla would have known the other brothers very easily. Elam is over here, the Persians, and then Asher is right up the road. Aram, follow the Euphrates out there, and then Lud must have been the introvert that decided to go as far away from these guys as possible. And then we see Asher was the one that established Nineveh, that's right up the road. Asher also has his own city that's even closer to Arphaxad. The city of Asher is right here. So we can theorize that these two brothers, Asher and Arphaxad, were very close, and then we see Sayla right there. I mentioned he had a connection to Madai, the father of the Medes, and so you can see why that would be highly probable as well. If we happen to be here at the land of the Medes, we can see how just following the geography would connect us to the Arphaxadites very easily, and see why one of the descendants of the Medes ends up marrying one of the descendants of Arphaxad. So history is getting very exciting. Just knowing this little bit of history, we can see that the Chaldeans are developing over here in the Euphrates, and we can see how history is unfolding. We're only 13 generations into humanity, and we're already seeing the foundations of all civilization. It's very exciting, and it gets even more exciting. We can perceive how history is woven together. So I leave you with this quote from Hesiod: "The half is greater than the whole." So obviously Hesiod was better at history than he was at math. So thanks for watching. It's always free to subscribe, thumbs up, share, and comment. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great week.